What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. Hope you're happy, safe, healthy. Want to wish you a very happy Monday, August 11th, 2025. It's been 2 days since the Dallas Cowboys played their first preseason game. It's been 10 days since Micah Parsons requested a trade for the team. And it's been 1 day since my very infamous microphone issues during Sunday's live show. I am working on the microphone situation. I've talked to the powers that be. For now, you get the AirPod show. I think it sounds all right. I hope it sounds all right. I know it sounds all right. So just know that it is a work in progress. We'll see how fast the shipping can be for new equipment and whatnot. But thank you to those of you who helped me troubleshoot the issue during the live show. On Sunday, we have lots of live shows, lots of recorded videos, lots of things happening here on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel. So make sure you like this video, subscribe. I'm here all the time, all week long, every week, every month, because it's football season. We love this team. We hate this team. You can check out all my discussions, my interviews with different people here on the YouTube channel. You can also check out all my work on social, X, Instagram, Threads at RJ Ochoa, TikTok, RJ.Ochoa. Like my Facebook page, follow me on LinkedIn, Blue Sky, whatever. I promise if you're there, I'm there talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Today is Monday, August the 11th, as mentioned, and we have a few things to get to from a news and notes standpoint as we get ready for the Cowboys to return to practice following their first preseason game, and obviously to get ready for another preseason game. 2 more left before things start counting for real. And we haven't talked about this, you and I here, and I guess we'll take ownership of that or fall to responsibility for that, but we haven't talked about it because I did not deem it worthy to talk about. Now, look, on Dallas Cowboys game days, I have a lot of things going on. Right? We have a lot of articles that we're prepping and doing things for, lots of social stuff, lots of graphics. I'm obviously posting all over the place and getting the live show ready for everything that's going to be happening before, during, and after Dallas Cowboys games. So on Saturday, when the Cowboys were getting ready to play the Rams and this clip started floating around, I did not think much of it. I thought it was a harmless, innocuous thing. And I really just kind of let it go. It wasn't until Sunday afternoon, after Tommy Fleetwood couldn't get it done in Memphis, man, that was such a bummer, that I realized people were still talking about this. And I just now feel compelled to offer my opinion. I feel compelled to tell you, I don't ever like to do this. I don't believe in doing this, but I am going to tell you what you are wrong with if you are somebody who unfortunately holds the wrong opinion. I'm talking about a clip of Dak Prescott with Stan Kroenke, Los Angeles Rams owner. Let's play the clip. Shout out to Mike Leslie of WFA, who we pulled this from. Let's watch so we can discuss. Now, maybe you're like me. Maybe you have a brain. Maybe you're somebody who's like, well, RJ, you kind of sounded silly when you were describing this. You sounded kind of like you were off the deep end. I know you got microphone issues going on, bro, but like, what's going on with you? Yeah, I agree with you. There are people, real people, that put pants on and that are seemingly allowed to operate motor vehicles, who think that this is a number of things. I have seen 3 different types of responses to this. Number one, I have seen the homer take. They're like, hell yeah, Dak, let's go, baby. Yeah, we're going to be in the NFC Championship game. If you feel that way, cool. Like that doesn't bother me whatsoever. If you want to feel that way, good for you. All right. Take number 2 is the Dak apologist take, right? Which is kind of a homer, but not quite, but still trying to be objective. The Dak apologist take is responding to the third people. But the Dak apologist is saying, well, what do you expect him to say? I mean, like, every player believes or should believe that every player has the goal of getting to the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott's goal should be to get to the Super Bowl. And then there's a second level to this take, which is going so far as to examining the psychological element of it all, saying Dak has to believe this. He must believe this. He's the leader. He has to curate and instill this belief within the roster, within his teammates. He is exemplifying great leadership. I don't even really feel strongly against this, but I still think that that's being silly. The ultimate silly take, the unhinged take, is the people who are saying, what an idiot. Oh my gosh, Dak's declaring the Cowboys are going to the NFC Championship game. What a loser. The Cowboys haven't been to one of those since forever. Wow, how silly. You're all silly. If you have any kind of reaction to this, again, I don't make it a habit of telling people what to do or how to be a fan, but I'm here to tell you that this is insane. I mean, look, I know and I'm grateful for the fact that the Cowboys stir the conversation. The Cowboys are the conversation. But if you are somebody who has even a remotely intense reaction to this, I think you need to come back down to earth. I think you need to, have a piece of cheesecake. I've had several since unveiling it on social media on Saturday, and it has been delicious. But man, I'm gonna have to run a couple miles today. Look, my 2 cents on this are: this is just a thing you say, right? This is just a thing you say to people in the preseason, like, "Good luck today. I hope we beat you. Best of luck this season." You're an NFC team, we're an NFC team, so I hope you have as much success as possible, which would be meeting us in the NFC Championship game. But I hope we win it because I want to be on the winning team. It's the equivalent of saying Merry Christmas to someone on December 7th. It's the equivalent of writing hags in someone's yearbook in 2001. You're telling somebody to have a good summer. You're telling somebody to just experience life the best possible way so long that it isn't an inconvenience to you. Like, that's all this was. I don't find this to be a serious thing whatsoever. And if you have any kind of serious reaction to it, please take a breath, touch grass, as the kids say. There's no reason to even get intense about it and say, "Oh, he's defending the team. He's trying to instill belief." No, it's just a thing you say. When they play the Ravens this week, he's probably going to tell them, "I hope we meet you in the Super Bowl." And then when they play the Falcons next week, he's going to say, "Hey, I hope we meet you on the NFC Championship game," even though I told the Rams that, right? Like, it's not a big deal. Now, you don't say those things in the regular season because those games matter. But in the preseason, it's just a harmless thing you say. It's like when you see your neighbor, you're like, "How the kids? Oh, we heard y'all having a cookout the other day. Hope it was good." No, we don't need the leftovers, right? Like, it's just a thing you say. So please, for the love of everything, stop making a big deal about this. Again, I recognize that the Cowboys require people to have a hard take, a hot take about everything. This is not one of those times. You want to have hot takes about the Cowboys? Let's go. I will fully entertain the craziest, most outlandish, most unbelievable things that you can drum up. But this is so silly that it isn't even one of those things. All right? This is hags. Have a good summer. Although I never understood if it was have a good summer or a great summer. But nevertheless, summer's over because football is here. So a couple other things that I wanted to get to. On the subject of Dak, actually, The Athletic released their quarterback rankings. All right, that's not the proper word to use, but Mike Sando does an amazing job with this. Quarterback tiers is the proper verbiage, and they put it up on your screen here. So what you are looking at here, The Athletic compiles the opinions of decision makers across the NFL, as you can see. 6 GMs, 6 assistant GMs, 6 former GMs, 5 other execs, 8 head coaches, and 19 other coaches, including 15 coordinators, comprise Sando's 50-person panel. If I was a lame content creator, or a predictable one, not a lame, there are no lame content creators. So apologies there. But if I was predictable, I would have read all those numbers and then gone, and a partridge in a pear tree. But let the record show that I did not do that. Anyway, Mike Sando's awesome. I love reading his work at The Athletic. He's amazing. And I find this exercise to be interesting. So it's broken down into tiers, and they're color coded and whatnot. I think we fully agree. Again, I'm a huge Dak apologist, not a huge enough one to say something silly about the NFC Championship game quote, but I will not tell you that he belongs in this top tier. All right. I am not going to tell you that Dak belongs in this tier with Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Matthew Stafford's inclusion there is a little bit to me, but whatever. That being said, I'm fully with that. In fact, I think he's in the proper tier. I maybe personally wouldn't put Brock Purdy there. I maybe personally wouldn't put Baker Mayfield there. But I think that that's fair. Now, you can jumble the order of tier 2 around all you want. You want to tell me that Dak is better than Jalen Hurts? You want to tell me he's better than Jared Goff or Justin Herbert or Jaden Daniels, whatever? I'm not going to argue one way or the other. I do think this is fair. This is one of the most fair representations or rankings or assessments or tier listings of quarterbacks that I've seen personally. That's why I vouch for Mike Sando and the work that he does. And obviously, it's interesting because it's curated the opinions of different NFL decision makers, executives, coaches, coordinators, et cetera, partridges in a pear tree. So this is an interesting exercise. So for anyone who believes otherwise, good luck. Okay, so that is the Dak thing. Let me put myself back up on the screen here. There were 2 other things that I wanted to share. In fact, I was going to do a whole video about this, but then I saw people being silly. I've been talking about as of late, if you follow me on everywhere, and if you do, that makes me happy. I've been talking about how the Cowboys, and everyone's been talking about this to be clear, don't play their starters in the preseason. And whether or not I agree with this, whether or not I have a different opinion on this. And the way I feel is I have, for most of my adult life, been against the idea of playing starters slash significant slash important players in the preseason. I will fully cop to the fact that my stance comes from a place of fear. I do not want the important players to get hurt. It is never fun. We are so close, right? We're so close to the season beginning, and the last thing you want is to have the rug pulled out from you, right? In the 11th hour of the offseason training camp, the preseason. You get the idea. That's where I'm coming from. I will say though, and within that, I have always been like, you want to play the starters? No, no. I've always just kind of like, la 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 la, like not even tolerated the discussion. I'm at a place now where I'm willing to tolerate the discussion. I'm at a place where I'm willing to say, you know what? You want to play Dak Prescott? Okay, fine. You don't want to play Dak? Okay, you don't want to play CD? You have a very special, small group of players who you don't want to play? That's cool. All right. But there are other players who should be playing. And there was one way that this came out that I thought really kind of proved the point. There was a great kind of microcosm of the point. Shout out to Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star Telegram. Everybody should follow Nick. Check out his new show on YouTube with John Owning. They are wonderful. They are awesome. They are ball knowers. You will learn a lot from them. This is Nick's tweet that came out on Sunday. Cowboys guard Tyler Booker, first-round draft pick, obviously, is the only first-round pick to be a healthy scratch in week 1 of the preseason. We're talking, again, about healthy first-round players. So, injuries are a factor. You have to consider that. Only Michael Williams and Maxwell Hairston missed to injury. All 29 others saw action. Again, I think that this is emblematic of the idea that I now hold as my own, right? Why is Tyler Booker not playing? I would like that answer. I mean, and I'm not even like necessarily telling you, but I would like to hear that answer. Why is Tyler Booker not playing? You don't want Dak, CD, Micah. You want to throw some guys in there, Deron Bland, Jake Ferguson, obviously dudes who got nicked up during practices, whatever, like Jaden Blue, whatever. Okay, cool, with you. Like, no one's going to fight you on this. Why is Tyler Booker not playing? And why are you the only team now? And I don't bring this up to be like the Cowboys are the only team. They suck. They're losers. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's a little bit of evidence here to suggest that you're doing things in a way that nobody else is. And maybe you feel that confident in Tyler Booker, right? Like that's understandable. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the answer. But again, we can understand your special box. You don't want these guys to play because, and some of that is who they are. They don't need it, whatever. But you telling me Tyler Booker doesn't need it? Like, we all have a lot of faith, a lot of confidence, a lot of hope, a lot of aspirations and dreams for Tyler Booker and the offensive line this is going to become. But it just, I mean, I think that's fair to say that it is kind of an eye opener to go, wow, okay, so of all the healthy first round picks, Cowboys are the only one that zigged. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of an interesting place to be. So I digress. Those were that was a standout thing for me. Last thing, because it's a mandatory thing. The Micah Parsons situation remains one. Today is Monday, Monday, August the 11th. And Adam Schefter was on Get Up this morning, so you may be seeing this after the fact. But this is Adam Schefter on Get Up on Monday morning. This is from the article I wrote about the subject at bloggingtheboys.com. Here's what Schefter had to say. I'll move my mouse out of the way. All the way, here we go. No deal in sight. If there's no deal in sight, what's going to happen? Is Micah going to play in the opener? We've already heard Jerry Jones wonder about whether Micah would be out there on opening day. What would be the Cowboys' plan here? Well, if obviously they can't get a long-term deal done and the two sides are not even talking about it right now, then they can always have Micah this year if he plays. And they have the franchise tag after this year. They'd have the franchise tag the next year. He heard all of you on the internet who were saying this, by the way. They have his rights essentially for 3 years. At some point in time, you have to wonder if they would look to trade him. Now they've been very opposed to that idea, publicly saying we're not interested in trading him. He's not going to be dealt. But you can't not sign the guy, then you can't not trade him. It's one or the other. Either you're going to work on a long-term deal, which they haven't done with him, or you're going to have to explore other options, which they haven't yet. But there are people around the league who wonder if they'll get to that point in time. Now, look, I want to declare right now, all right, it is my official stance that trading Micah Parsons would be very, very, very stupid from the Dallas Cowboys. But that you should trade him, but if you're going to trade him, if that's the thing, if you're going to go down that road, and right now it's hard to believe that you're going down any road, but if you're going to go down that road, our biggest criticism of you isn't even necessarily not getting extensions done early. It's not doing anything early. It's not doing extensions early. It's not getting ahead on trades early. It's not having a single sense of proactivity within your overall MO, your modus operandi. You do not contain any ability or are unwilling to contain any ability to look beyond the current moment. Because again, if you want to trade him, I disagree with that idea, but at least make a move, at least take a step forward, even if it's in a direction that I don't support. Because right now, all you're doing is standing still, and that's accomplishing nothing, and it's hindering the present. It is setting yourself back actually more than it is moving yourself forward. So again, please don't trade him. But for the love of all that is good, sacred, and logical, do something so that we can finally respect you just a little bit. Okay. That's my rant. I kind of made it through. I know the Dak thing was a little bit whatever, but that was my rant for the day. And that means it's time to go ahead and chunk deuces. So thank you everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate it. If you like what I do, you know where to find me. I'm on X, Instagram, Threads at RJ Ochoa, TikTok, RJ.Ochoa. Like my Facebook page, follow me on LinkedIn, Blue Sky, et cetera, et cetera. Email is rj.ochoa at sbnation.com. You know, of course, how to find me. We'll be back on Tuesday with another video because it's football season. They're coming all the time, which is why you should be subscribed right here to the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. And let's go ahead and, let's just get out of here, right? Like, why don't we get out of here? I got more cheesecake to eat, and I promise you it's not going to eat itself because I'm going to be the one who eats it. So thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. And mic issues getting worked out, but we will see you next time.